My name is Lady Gaga!
Hello everyone, my name is not Lady Gaga, but it is Julia, and today we're going back to art class. You see, I am decent at drawing people from my noggin, but not a likeness of people. The definition of likeness is a portrait or representation. Here are some examples of what a likeness should look like. As you can see from this one, this portrait is in Paloma's style, but you can tell that this drawing is supposed to be Pedro Pascal. The next person, I believe, is the holy grail of likenesses. Their style is incredibly cartoony and Disney-fied, but you can tell that this is Homelander. I don't know how they do it. I want to figure it out. Anyway, that's what we will be learning today. And the first person that I'm going to attempt to draw in my style is the great Lady Gaga. Before we move on to the art, I would like to give a little bit of a disclaimer. I do not consider myself a little monster. This is what she calls her fans. This is because I don't listen to all of her music. Let me explain. My mom was very careful about the things we were allowed to watch and listen to as kids. For instance, we were only allowed to listen to contemporary Christian radio. I was a Smile of a Child and VeggieTales kid. She also allowed PBS Kids and Disney Junior with some shows as exceptions. So Lady Gaga was a huge no-no. When I graduated high school, I went through a phase where I watched everything I wasn't allowed to as a kid, like Disney Channel. I watched Liv and Maddie in its entirety, as well as Casey Undercover. I also branched out into music like Billie Eilish, Olivia Rodrigo, and of course Lady Gaga. I don't know what it is. But even though I didn't grow up with her, watching the music video for Bad Romance made me feel like a kid again. I don't know what it was, but it felt so nostalgic and safe. However, my dad thinks that, quote, Lady Gaga is the devil. Now, that's not true, obviously, but there are some things of hers that I don't listen to. Some of these songs are Abracadabra, Judas, Aura, Zombie Boy Killa, and a few others. Why is this? Well, it's because my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ told me not to. This is how it went. Hey, so maybe you shouldn't be listening to these songs. Okay, but why though? Because I told you to, and I feel like that should be enough. But why though? Oh my goodness. It is not because these songs are bad sounding. If I come across them on TikTok, I will be jamming for a smidge. But I just don't listen to these songs on my own anymore because God told me to. Except for those once a month times where I decide to break my own rules and listen to one and then feel really bad afterwards. But that's not the point! Now that disclaimer is over with. Okay? And now that we're all on the same page. And now that no one is mad at me. What are you doing? What do you do? Hey, no. Hey, we're friends here. Stop! Alright, relax, guys. I'm going to talk about how great she is now, okay? These are all of the songs that I love. Bad Romance is easily one of my favorites from her older stuff. And then with the new album, Mayhem, Vanish Into You and Shadow of a Man are up there for me. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's get on to the art. Lady Gaga is a good first try at a likeness, in my opinion, because she has a very distinct face. We all know that she's
an Italian girl from New York.
And that gives her a very pretty and unique face structure. Would I say it was easy to figure out how to draw her? Ha! Absolutely not. I had to retry so many times, but eventually I got something that kind of looks similar to the person named Lady Gaga. Now we move on to the illustration. I decided to draw her closing costume for her Mayhem Ball tour. The photos I used are from her festival run. My first impression to this tour was when I found out Lady Gaga was going to headline at Coachella. I was so excited because I've never witnessed her on tour before. I've seen a few videos, but I've never sat through a concert. Scratch that.
Nope, scratch that. Reverse it.
I do think that I watched the Chromatica Ball on HBO Max, and that's when I fell in love with her artistry. But from her promotional interview, she was supposed to bring back some older songs. And since I love the Born This Way and art pop era, I was very excited. I had to stay up very late because her concert didn't start until 11:10 in California. I live on the East Coast, so I was up at 2 a.m. watching this concert. I told myself, I usually go to sleep at 2 a.m. anyway, so I'll peep the first bit and then I'll go to sleep. Of course that wasn't going to happen. Ha! Are you kidding? I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. The costumes, the wigs, the choreography, the story was all outstanding. It felt like I was watching a Broadway musical or something. I was also in my room alone because my college roommate was visiting home, so I had some red lighting on and I was jamming all night. I had to whisper the songs though because I didn't want to wake up my other two roommates in the next room. Finally, she left the stage after Vanish Into You. And that was it? She left for a long time, and I was very confused because she has to play Bad Romance, right? And then the screen lit up with the final act.
Oh my gosh, she's a bird and she's singing Bad Romance!
The band playing the song and the choir added so much to it. It was a magical experience, and I had so much fun watching it. By this point, I believe it was like 5 a.m. So I had to go to bed, and I only slept for like 6 hours, but man, was it worth it. So in honor of my time watching Coachella, I wanted to draw her in this final outfit because that memory of the final note with the choir and the guitars and the fireworks and the drums is burned into my memory forever. And like I said, I don't consider myself a little monster, but I do consider myself a huge fan, and I respect the heck out of her for her artistry and what she's done to the music industry. She does whatever she wants, and it's very inspiring for someone like me who wants to make a living off of my art. Oh, and to actually talk about the illustration, I wanted to give you all tips for digital art because I have some trouble making my digital art look finished. And I discovered that coloring the line art helps so much. I colored the skin and the hairline art, and it added so much depth. I also added a clipping mask over the top of the skin and added little bits of blush to the cheeks, the elbows, and anywhere else I thought needed to pop. And then for the background, I tried to make the most janky opera house I've ever seen in my life. And I tried to add a little bit of red lighting, and I blurred it like crazy because I didn't want anyone to look at it. And then I added rah rah in the back because it's the lyrics to Bad Romance. I probably sound crazy to my dad, who probably thinks it's like a devil chant or something. I promise it's not. But anyway, here's the final illustration. I'm so proud of it. I think this is the best digital illustration I've done so far. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you would want stickers of this design because man, do I want to put this on a water bottle. Also, let me know who else you want me to draw and yap about because I have a lot on the back burner. Make sure to subscribe because we're only just getting started. My name is Julia, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.